pop punk heavyweights State Champs are back with their new acoustic EP, Unplugged. I remember seeing State Champs back in 2012-ish at a local club here in Chicago, the Beat Kitchen. This is shades of gray era State Champs, and the Beat Kitchen, a local club here in Chicago, is around 200, 300-ish max capacity. Something around that is probably what, it's popped in my head right now, and, a lot has changed since then. Now State Champs are one of the biggest bands in the scene. This is the band's first proper release since Living Proof back in 2018, an album that I really liked the first half of, but the second half got a little bit too whoa-oh for me. A lot of those in the Living Proof album, and it always seems like State Champs is trying to go after that fresh feeling and capture the fan response of the album. The Finer Things, probably the band's most loved album to date. I remember, when that album came out all those years ago, and no one said a negative thing about that album. It was the talk of the scene when it was released. I feel like an adequate comparison here from The Finer Things and how fans perceive that album is fans of Neck Deep. Neck Deep, of course, released a brand new album, and all fans I've been seeing online have been like, they always compare those new Neck Deep albums, Peace in the Panic, stuff like that, to Life's Not Out to Get You. Now, Life's Not Out to Get You and The Finer Things are pretty much pop punk classics at this point, but, there hasn't been a mass exodus either with every new album from the State Champs or Neck Deep. It's not like nobody's listening to either of those bands after their, perceived best work, meaning The Finer Things and Life's Not Out to Get You. Both bands have done pretty well for themselves after both of those albums have been released. But I am going to agree, at least for me, that nothing after The Finer Things has really grabbed my attention from the State Champ side, at least as much as The Finer Things did when it was first released. Elevated is a phenomenal pop punk song. Speaking to American songwriter, guitarist of State Champs, Tyler Sleslowski, had this to say about the band's approach to Unplugged. When we used to write acoustic, it would be pop punk acoustic stuff, but lately we really don't care about filling those shoes or being what people wanted us to be. We wanted to make an EP that was acoustic music with variety. We made sure each of the new songs had their own identity. We went with Unplugged because we didn't want it to feel so serious. We wanted to make a good EP. We didn't want a big branding or names or to make it feel like something too epic. We wanted it to be casual. I think casual is a perfect way to describe this EP, Unplugged. And I don't mean that in a bad way. The album just flows smooth and chill. It's even keel the entire time. Something you would put on when you're around like a campfire or, a late night drive or a late night conversation. That kind of vibe. The album opens up with 1,000 Hearts, and the highlight on this song, the thing that makes it stand out, or that should make it stand out, is the sax, but it comes in so late in the song. I really think that's an odd choice. If you're gonna put it in there, put it in the whole song, or, way earlier than it actually is. I wish it would have been highlighted a lot more for this song. The Recipe and 10 AM are the next two songs on the EP, and that's about all the nice things I can say about them. They're two acoustic pop punk songs that are pretty forgettable and really don't stand out to me at all. Crying Out Loud is the standout song on this EP. It's the clear-cut best song, in my opinion, a pop punk chorus to sing along to. I think this song is going to become a fan favorite and make its way to the band's setlist. The two songs we have from Living Proof are Criminals and Dead and Gone. And Criminals is one of my favorite tracks from the Living Proof album, so it's nice to have it here. And this new acoustic version has a little bit of a country vibe to it, which is nice and makes the song stand out. And with the Dead and Gone, I remember when Living Proof was released, the big criticism of that album and this song in particular was that it was too highly produced. So obviously the version on the Unplugged EP is stripped down and it's an acoustic version of that song. And I can't help but think that if this version of Dead and Gone was on Living Proof, the fans would have loved this song. Acoustic albums are always a tricky thing because you either have bands going for a unique, expanded version of some fan favorites, or you have a band making robotic acoustic songs with no heart. And on this EP, it's very obvious that State Champs put a lot of heart into the reimagined version of these songs. And I'm not going to criticize State Champs or any band for trying new things on an EP and, changing their sound. And especially here on this EP, State Champs broadened their pop punk sound and go to different sounds here with the sax and just kind of a low chill vibe. And like I said, said, I'm not going to criticize a band for trying new things on an EP, maybe letting fans in on a sneak peek of, hey, this is what our sound might be. You know, some fans might like it, and some fans might hate it, and then the band may go back and retool some of the things that, you know, fans didn't like. So yeah, I'm not going to criticize a band for trying new things on an EP. In my opinion, that's what EPs are for anyway. And given the world we're living in right now, we can't take bands releasing any new material for granted. I assume State Champs are working on a new album, since at this point it's been 2 years since Living Proof, so this is a nice little treat for diehard fans. What did you think of Unplugged? Let me know in the comments. Please like and share the video. Subscribe if you haven't. Tell all your friends. Follow me on social, and thanks for watching.